Hey all, it's the 16th of June 2022. It's exactly 4 o'clock. I just want to make a quick video to share some ideas with you. So let's get started. In the morning, I forgot to mention a bunch of things. One of them was that I think there are a few good signs that some effort is being made to resolve the Russia-Ukraine crisis. I had not noticed it earlier, so I'm just going to share them. It's not brand new news, but it definitely does give us some kind of a hope that things can get better. And I didn't have that in my radar before. The first one is this news article, which says European leaders back Ukraine's bid to apply for EU membership. Now, this article is just 4 hours ago. So this is again another massive sign of support from EU to Ukraine, and that does matter a lot in the conflict in terms of showing the international community's support for Ukraine. So this is one more concrete step where the European leaders on the soil in Ukraine have expressed their solidarity. So that's also likely to push us closer towards a negotiated settlement, which is what is the talk out here in the 4th June 2022 article. So this is the one which is old, which I had missed. I had not seen this news article before. My bad. But it says negotiated settlement needed for peace in war-torn Ukraine, President Biden. So when I read this article, right, the presidents are the ones who set the tone of discussions. And once they give a policy directive that this is the direction in which we want to go, the rest of the administration team gets together, they formulate all the communication and everything that is needed in order to get the outcome that the president is looking for. So that's a very good sign, because a negotiated settlement will save face for Russia. It will also help Ukraine, because they are not going to be under a gunpoint to concede territory, but instead they will be able to put forward their points and negotiate a better deal, which otherwise would not have been possible. And also, I think at this stage, not only the world community, but also Russia and Ukraine have already seen the damages firsthand of these wars, which is going to take a decade or so to recover from. So they also might be very eager to save face and close off this entire misadventure. So hopefully the president's team is able to push in that direction, and hopefully it gets support from EU and other powers that may be, and that can result to more pressure for Putin and President Zelensky to come together on a table and sign off on a peace accord of some sort. So that's my ray of hope. With that said, I would like to now go and have a look at the aftermath of today's destruction in the share market. First off, I would like to say that when I look at NASDAQ futures is negative minus 3.91. Let me go to a one-day time frame so you can see clearly the action for today. So this red candle is today's candle, and we are still respecting this diagonal line of support. We didn't come as low as we could have today if we were in this market, but tomorrow we have a much lower bar. So if we continue falling tomorrow, which is what it looks like, given the way the future looks, given the way the MACD and the momentum are looking like, so we are looking at a little more downward movement. Let us go and have a look at our NASDAQ and other indices. Let's go first look at oil. That's the sequence in which we check these things out. 16th June, this is the candle for 16th June. It seems to be a bullish hammer, but it has managed to pierce the diagonal line of support and go up. So this support line is again validated for us. And for tomorrow, our support line is going to be at 113.97. We already have the 9-day and the 20-day exponential moving average as a resistance. So things are starting to look good on the oil front. This is not because of any other reason, but the fact that oil manufacturers also recognize that going forward, the demand is going to go down, so production is going to go down, therefore consumption of oil is going to go down. And that's the reason why the prices are coming down. That's the only reason why I think the prices of oil are coming down. So this is a good sign for us. And if you look at the put-call ratio, it's really shot up again, and it's gone to 1.26. So whenever the numbers are above, the reading is above 1, it's bearish, and when it's below 1, it is bullish. Next, let us look at our US dollar index. let us see, where is the US dollar index? Yeah, here you go. So this is the US dollar index, and money did come out of the US dollar index. So it must have gone either into the stocks, or it must have gone into gold. So when we look at NASDAQ out here, NASDAQ is negative, S&P 500 is negative. Let us just quickly look at gold and crypto and see whether any of them has managed to go up. So gold has definitely gone up 1.15%. A good portion of the funds have gone into gold right now. And when we look at Bitcoin, Bitcoin has continued to lose, and it's still dangerously hovering around the 20,233 critical level of support, in my opinion. If it breaks this support, that's going to be a heavy fall. I was thinking of around $8,000 drop from this point is possible if Bitcoin breaks this level of support. Now, that said, let's go back and continue looking at the indicators. So let's go and check out what's happening with the QQQ. So when I look at the QQQ, we can see that we have broken below this diagonal line of support that we had before, and it has now become resistance. Our next line of support is this diagonal green line, which has been with us in this downward bear channel for a long time, and it has been respected. It's very strong. So we have a chance out here that we may bounce back from this diagonal line of support for tomorrow. It's going to show that our bottom could be as low as 262.11. It may not come to 262.11, but if it were to fall down, you have potential of uninterrupted fall to that extent if it did happen. So let us see what happens tomorrow. Right now, MACD is looking bearish and momentum is absolutely poor. Same thing seems to be happening for S&P 500. We have just about struggling to hold on to this diagonal line of support. We have not fallen down yet. And S&P 500 has a much broader range of companies and more companies. So it's a much better representative of the entire market sentiment. So it's not as bad as it was for NASDAQ. And many risk-on assets have taken a big beating in the NASDAQ. For a context, let me show you some companies which we always know as bellwethers. So Microsoft, for example, has gone down today 2.70%. And if we were to look at Apple, it has gone 3.97%. It's gone down 3.97%. If we also look at Google, it's gone to 3.40%. And when we look at the FANG index, it's gone down 14.41%. Of course, this is a triple X index, so there is going to be exaggerated movement out here. But still, the FANG you have seen, they have gone down anywhere between 3 to 5%. If we were to look at Facebook, it's gone down 5%. And if you were to look at Twitter, it's down 1.66%. So things are not looking great at the end of the day here. Let's go and have a look at genomics. So given the situation that you saw in the tech sector, it's really encouraging to have CRISPR, Intellia, Beam, and Novartis having a positive read. And especially CRISPR with a positive of 3.16 is a strong vote of confidence. I'm really surprised that Bluebird continues to fall after this. Maybe there is some information that we don't know. We know for sure that Bluebird balance sheet is not that strong. And if they get a BLA by August or September, I think they should be fine. But I don't see the reason for this kind of a pessimism where you see a drop of 12.0%. So you can see this whole play was really crazy. I mean, this whole thing, this whole movement out here, this looks really bad. I don't know what people are thinking when they bid it up to 66% up, and then now they have bought it down. Yesterday it was around 14%, and today another 12%, so a total of 26% down. So it's not looking good. Let's see if there is any news article out there. There's no news article out here except Bluebird BioShares stumble after Monday's hike on FDA's beta cell gene therapy recommendation. So does it give any reason? It didn't give any reason out here. See, this is what I hate about news articles. Like, as a content provider, I'm trying to come back to you with something definitive. This is just a clickbait. It just says it tumbled. It doesn't give a reason why it tumbled, and I want to know the reason why it tumbled because I can't find any. So I would say that we are becoming pretty interesting in terms of buying into Bluebird for a short-term trade because Bluebird is significantly beaten up. Let's go zoom out and look at how much it has fallen. Okay, 3.05 is where we are post-market. And I'm going to take this measurement tool and go from the top and come all the way to the bottom to 3.05. It's somewhere out here, around 94% drop. It's a 94% drop for a Bluebird from its very peak. So I think that Bluebird should be well favored, at least for a technical bounce back. There's money to be made in Bluebird, I think. But this is my personal opinion. Please do not put your money on this based on my opinion. Do your own due diligence before you decide to make an investment decision. Now, coming back to look at the shares that we have been tracking, I think I would like to look at Bluebird again to just expand on my idea before I proceed ahead. So you see these two diagonal lines, horizontal lines that we have drawn out here. So this horizontal line is the support line for the channel in which we had been moving for the longest time. So I'm going to fine tune it even further so that I have 3 points of contact. That's one here, and one here. So we have got these 3 points of contact out here. So I'm going to consider this channel to be the consolidation channel for Bluebird. We touched this and we went back up. So I'm expecting it to hold on to this support tomorrow and then bounce back. If it did bounce back, then it has a potential of going from 2.90 all the way to 3.77. So even if you manage to buy it at 2.95 or 3, you still have an opportunity to sell it anywhere below 3.76. Even if you can sell it for 3.5, you get to make 50 cents per share. And with the share price being so low, it's easy to do 1,000 share trade and take limited risk and see if some money can be made. So this is what I would be thinking, but this is my idea based on a very tight budget because I don't have much money right now. But you have to do your own thinking before you place any trades. This is not financial advice. Now, having said that, I'm going to have a look at CRISPR Therapeutics. So CRISPR Therapeutics seems to be going into a parallel bull channel out here, and I'm going to draw a temporary line of support out here just as a placeholder. So there seems to be some kind of a support which is very, very steep, just like it had before. So there is a good chance that we may still continue to progress further ahead in order to be able to touch this resistance at 66.36 in tomorrow's session. Potentially, we'll get more into details when I do the daily update session tomorrow because we'll have more up-to-date numbers out there. Then we look at Intelia. Intelia has gone below our line of consolidation out here. So I'm going to mention that this consolidation line is now going to become a resistance. And we have to see what is the bottom consolidation line out here. For now, I can see a trend out here which seems to show that we are somewhere at this stage here. So I marked this as a resistance. I marked it red and I have a new support line out here based on 1, 2, 3, 4 touch points. So this should be reasonably strong support. Let us see what happens tomorrow. And if we are able to bounce between these two, again, this will give another opportunity for anyone who wants to do a little bit of day trading to make some money out there. Of course, this is again a risky idea. Of course, not financial advice, as I always like to remind you. I'm just musing out loud out here. And then let's look at Beam Therapeutics. Beam is still maintaining against the support that it's already had before. And it's done well for itself today. It just bounced off support. Then Regeneron, of course, these companies are all well established. I'm not more interested in them. I would like to see what's happening with Allogene. So if we look at Allogene today, Allogene is looking good in terms of being above at least 3 of the exponential moving average. It seems the 9-day exponential moving average has given good support and helped it to stay above. So this is good for us, but the resistance, which is going to be at 9.93, is very, very tough for Allogene because it also has the 100-day exponential moving average converging on it. So we only take 20, 50, and 100-day exponential moving average, but elsewhere I have seen people looking at the 200-day exponential moving average as some kind of a support for NASDAQ and other big shares and expecting a bounce back from that level. So I'm not planning to put that in here, but I may consider that idea in a future session. Next, let's look at Caribou Biosciences. Caribou Biosciences has fallen below all the exponential moving averages, and the last support that we had before we stopped doing technical analysis was at 8.25, and this I marked it red right now. We do not know where the floor is because MACD is going down further. Momentum is also at the very bottom. So I think all these stocks have taken a big beating and they are due for a dead cat bounce tomorrow morning. We'll find out more when we do the daily update session tomorrow. And then what else did I want to look at? Let's have a quick look at Invite. We had done a small feature on Invite recently. So Invite is also not doing very well. It's down 8.97%, and it has dropped big time from its all-time high, which happened to be at $61. And right now it's at around 2.15. So it's down 96%. So if this is not appetizing for you, what is going to be appetizing is the question. ARKG has also fallen to the absolute rock bottom. ARKG is highly overdue for some upward movement, but they seem to be testing this diagonal line of support very severely on a daily basis for the last few days. So hope that we are still able to stay above that, but MACD is not looking great and momentum is also not looking great. I hope the sentiment turns tomorrow. Now let's look at PACB because it's the hardware and services. It has also taken a huge beating and it has taken a further beating today, but they are maintaining a floor level for the last 4 days. They have been above a level. So that's a bit encouraging. The next one I wanted to see is Illumina because that's also into hardware services. It's going to be used everywhere. And it has not done very well. And the outlook is also not looking good. And the MACD is also at the very, very bottom. So overall, it's not looking good at this time of the day. No post markets here. There is 232 is the post market. And for CRISPR, post market is 65.24. And it's gone up. Intelia also is flat. Beam is flat. Novart is down 0.03 post market. Regeneron is flat. And I would like to go to Bluebird and see if it's gaining anything. Bluebird is flat post market. DNA is flat post market. Verve has picked up 4.13% post market. Go figure what's happening out here. Invite is up 2.35% post market. Teladoc is up 0.03% post market. PACB up 0.25% post market. ARKG flat. Editas flat. Illumina is flat. IMTX is flat. Caribou Biosciences is flat. Pfizer up 0.06% post market. Halogen up 0.0% post market. IDNA is flat. Yeah, so that's the sequence of things that have happened in the market so far. With that said, I think having had so much of beatings for consecutive days, we are, I think, in a very good position to have a dead cat bounce because in many cases we are finding that the momentum has gone below 30 and crept further lower. And we have seen MACD not only being bearish, but also very close to the bottom of the graph. All those things tend to indicate to me that we are at an unprecedented low. Could this be the bottom of the market? I don't know. Could this signify that we may go down further? That's very much possible. Anything can happen in this market because there is a whole lot of panic out there. Therefore, I would think that if you have survived the market so far and if you have a few bobs in your account, and if you can manage to tolerate the red on your portfolio for a year or a year and a half, I think you're going to come out very well. For the time being, I think it all looks very bad. But better days are ahead. Market never stays down always. So keep heart and stay focused and stay strong. With that said, I would like to end this video. If you like this video, please press a like out there. And if you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe and join our community and help us grow this channel. Thanks and have a great day. Bye for now.